Now recently, there's been a lot of talk about the new #1 on Faceit named Nocries. And there are a lot of reasons that people think he's cheating. Let's go over those, check out a couple of his demos, and see if he really is cheating. Now at this point, Nocries has been covered by many YouTubers. After all, getting #1 on Faceit is a pretty big achievement. But what makes this even more interesting is this account's only been around since 2022. Which isn't really a long time when you think about how long Counter-Strike's been around. On top of that, he doesn't seem to own one single skin for Counter-Strike 2. Not one! That's kind of insane. Like, you have to deliberately try to do that. On top of that, he hit #1 on the leaderboards with a max elo of 4,333. And if you look at his Faceit stats, all of his stats edge out Donk in every single category. And we all know that Donk is a monster, partially because he's played so much. Nocries, on the other hand, only has a total of 1,000 matches played, which isn't really that much considering how good he is. Now YouTubers like Furious have analyzed his best demos to see if they could spot anything. And so far, they haven't spotted much of anything. But recently it has been pointed out that Nocries has been in a bit of a slump. Maybe he's been cheating this whole time and just turned them off. So I decided to check out his worst demos and see if I could spot anything and any differences between how he was playing before and how he's playing now. So first up, we're going to be taking a look at his worst game before the slump, which actually wasn't that bad of a game. Yes, he got wrecked, but individually he didn't do that bad, still ending up with 15 kills. He also seems to pretty consistently get kills through smokes before his slump. Now I did watch the full rounds because I wanted to see if there was any real differences between his playstyle. Now often in the past, when high-level players have been cheating, they've been caught using radar hacks. And if he's using a radar hack, he would be playing very different than if he's not using one. Obviously, I'm also keeping an eye on his crosshair, watching how he aims, his precision, his consistency. Now, as you guys can see, he's got a very consistent shot. He takes his time and he's got good precision.
He's open, by the way.
He does have his smoke lineups down, and he also has some pretty niche smoke lineups as well.
He doesn't play uphill though. Right?
But to be honest, he's probably decent at the game.
What in the TikTok lineup is that?
Again, this is considered a bad game when he was at his peak performance. His awareness is pretty good. There are times he's caught off guard, like we saw earlier when that guy peeked him from window room right as he looked away. And sometimes he does kind of seem to be staring off into walls. Now Nocries does look like he understands the game very well and does seem to understand how to counter certain things.
Open window.
Amen, power.
Connector. Right side window.
CT already.
In jungle. Let's go, please cut.
I mean, his aim looks really good. Considering this is his worst game before his slump, it looks incredible.
2A.
Trip one stairs.
One out B. One valley. Out B and valley. You could probably push cat, maybe. Force.
No, he's holding me. One cone. One cone.
Push kill. Push cat. Come on. There you go. Come on. Come on, buddy.
But even still, he was just outclassed by a better team. All right, the other team is on game point, and he's AFK at the beginning of the round. Are we going to see something amazing happen?
Pushing up.
He's under.
Pushing up. Pushing up. No, they're
He's under box.
Nice shot.
What an incredible 180 shot he had on Catwalk.
One fast under.
All right, this game is over, and overall, he looked like he is a very strong player, very consistent, but let's see what happened during his slump. Now, during the slump, he had his absolute worst game, only dropping 10 kills. But let's see how different his playstyle is. Maybe he decided to turn off his cheats.
One on
Up here, up here.
Backside somewhere.
one side.
Backside.
One more ramp pillar.
Oh, I'm mid. I can't. Oh, I got it.
Faceit. Left side. Default. One cat.
Now, I know he could have done a little bit better, but overall, his aim looked pretty good there. It looked just like it did before. The thing is, people aren't robots, and sometimes you just seem to be having a bad few games, or maybe even an entirely bad day, a bad week, sometimes a bad month. And in this game, he definitely seems to be struggling to hit his shots. So as you can see at the beginning of this game, he does look aggressive and does seem to be trying to take these fights. But as the game goes on, will we see him get less and less aggressive as he stops trusting his shot?
Smoked into con fully. I'm smoked up con.
Out, 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 out.
Wow.
Think tabs.
I mean, he still has that confidence that he had in the last game. Would someone that turned off cheats still have that confidence? One thing I did notice throughout this game is that he wasn't hitting any smoke kills.
Yo, they're playing retake A. He's playing
Get
take
him
A.
up.
Oh,
I'm gone too.
the market and jungle. Last two. Guaranteed.
Jungle dead.
That's what the market.
On this round, his teammate goes down with a bomb over at A main, so he needs to rotate around and try to retake it.
One's closer.
And even in this game, he seems to show very good awareness.
Somewhere.
Bait them.
He was up top.
He's in con.
One is if you stay
Your
right.
teammate is on CT. Sit, orange. Sit.
Can I help?
Sit down. Sit down.
Let's crouch.
I understand that there's a language barrier, but you'd think after 1,000 games, he would have just told him to crouch. Sit, duck, crouch!
I don't ramp yet.
Palace one. Palace still.
One jungle
Cat.
push.
One up cat. All the way up cat. Really B. Top middle.
There's more.
Nobody
I
apps.
have cat. Could be apps. One market, one cat. I don't know.
Two market door. I'm trying to come out door. Cat and two market door.
That
Wait,
could
wait,
be
wait,
last
last
market,
two
last
market.
market.
Oh, someone dead.
Nothing, both cons.
One jungle, one con. I don't see the beacon stairs.
Yeah, he's really not doing as well as he usually does, especially with the Deagle and the USP he really didn't do that great on. He did have that good Glock round though, but his rifles are still looking pretty consistent. And overall, his gameplay's looking pretty consistent. Here, his shot looks on and he gets hit by that flash, but then here on the last round, he blows open the smoke and looks like he's caught off guard by how aggressive they are. That being said, in previous games when he was caught off guard, he didn't look this surprised. He looked like he was able to get on target. Still though, watching this wasn't like watching night and day. It wasn't like all of a sudden he got 50 times worse. He still had the aiming mechanics. He still seemed to know what to do in certain situations. He still had some awareness that was pretty on point. Maybe he was just feeling extra pressure because of what had happened in a previous game.
Yo, Nocries, are you landable in November for New Jersey?
Yes.
Are you actually? Do you want to play? You live in New York?
Yeah.
Do you actually want to play at a fucking Jersey land in November? I'll cover the fee. It's VRS. It's VRS.
VRS?
If you play with us, I will literally cover your slot.
So he went on to agree to do this, but then later on he canceled. And not only did he seem more like a cheater, but now a land dodger. Now this is where I was going to end the video, but then I decided to give it another couple of days. And I am glad I did. So it looks like Nocries was actually invited to Faceit HQ to play. This way they could do everything possible to verify that he is legitimate. And would you believe it, he actually accepted and went down there to play. But there's a lot of pressure on this situation. After all, if he goes there and plays poorly, this just confirms that he's cheating. So he's got to play as ridiculous as he was before. So here's how he played at Faceit HQ.
Here, Rex.
Cat him up.
Three market.
What you guys got?
One more. Heal. Nice.
Okay, I am really not impressed.
Okay.
You know, he is being monitored closely. There are a lot of people watching him right now. He knows that, and maybe it's just nerves. Let's see what happens once he gets into the game a little bit. Now, I've watched enough games of him playing Mirage to say he is definitely not looking like his usual self at this point. But I'm going to give him some time. Maybe a little more time.
Hopping con. This guy peeks into the.
There's 3 Torde.
Careful boosting window.
I'm checking the window.
Ladder.
So I can talk on.
One chair, I think. Yeah, sure.
Sure.
There we go. That's a step in the right direction. Though he's not really known for doing a lot of AWPing, he does do it from time to time.
Could we push it?
I'm mid.
Apps.
Nocries classic.
Yeah, he's actually hitting some pretty good shots with that AWP. Still seems to have that precise aim.
Two under.
Oh, cat.
I don't see him peeking. I want to be
Go.
Yeah.
Please. Dude, why don't you guys intro? 2 down. I'm planting. Nice.
It is definitely looking like a case of the nerves. He's not only reacting a lot quicker with a lot lower time to damage, but because of that, he's rushing his shots and just not on target. Which is completely understandable. If he wants a future in Counter-Strike, everything is riding on him playing well at this. Would you call it an event?
Window. Can't go back. Window. Where?
Dude, you guys are fucking terrible, bro. Go out.
Wander. Bro, why did you get killed? Under.
Alright, back to some rifling, and here you can see his awareness is still on point. He didn't get the kill, but he knew that guy was going to be out and on an off angle. First half of the game is over, and you can clearly see he is leading his team right now.
Five on mid.
Running up cat.
Running up cat. In
How's it going, con?
He's got jumping headshotted.
Triple.
One window.
Triple
One window.
default, triple default.
Jump window.
One call, one call.
Still
Top
jump.
mid and window.
It's clear. One more thing.
Last one triple. It was triple.
As the game continues, it looks like his aim is getting more and more solid.
Cat, cat on.
2A. One take A, one.
Alright, so yeah, he is playing a bit differently than he usually plays. Here we can see he's doing some rifling. His aim doesn't quite seem as precise, but he's still managing and he's still doing quite well.
Couple B.
At the end of the day, I guess it doesn't matter how he goes about getting his kills, and if his playstyle does look a little bit different, it is a very different circumstance than what he's probably used to. And given he's still able to perform this good while having that many people watching him and making sure that he's not cheating while being on a computer that's not his own, makes me really believe this guy is legitimate and possibly the best player in North America. And I'm sure that after proving himself like this, he'll be approached by many teams and we'll have to see how he does in a team setting. You know, unless he just wants to play nothing but Faceit and stream, which is technically a job opportunity anyways. Personally, I think team play is a lot more fun than pug play. Either way, he seems to be legit, and hopefully he has a bright future. And as of making this video, here are his current stats since he started playing at Faceit HQ. Only 2 losses. He looks like he's the real deal.